Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to thank everyone for their messages last week. Absolutely overwhelmed by your support towards Rabjab. I don't think he's read any, but there was over 100 messages the last I checked. Unbelievable. He's still in hospital. He had an operation. He had a heart operation yesterday, and they've put on a pacemaker as well. So I still don't really know the ins and outs of what's going on with him. I haven't visited him because I've been carrying a chest infection, and that's the last thing they need in a hospital. So I'm going to try and get through to him today. He messaged back briefly yesterday that he just after surgery, but he didn't say anything. It just said, I've just had surgery, and then he didn't reply. So my guess is he was sleeping. So thank you all so much for your messages. I've got a couple of bits I want to do today. I haven't invited anyone else down today so that I can just kind of hammer through. I've got the new spark plug tool. I need to pop out the spark plugs of that car. It's got a slight misfire on the bottom end, so I want to clean them for now. Ideally I want to replace them today. I've got the new head. I showed you the new head for the Chinese bike. I'm going to fully explain why it needs a new head when I pull it out. It'll probably be today actually. I want to fire up the Harley today or tomorrow, get some fuel injector cleaner in there, get it fired up, just on the car, on the jump leads, because the brand new battery at home is in its box. I want to leave that until it warms up. And I think when I connect the battery, I'm going to put an isolator switch somewhere so that I can basically disconnect the battery without disconnecting it. I have got a plan for the CB. Nat's paintwork is stunning. It's at home, indoors. It's been curing for weeks in the warm. It will be brilliant. Easter holidays, so in about 2 months, a bit longer, I will be flattening and painting the whole frame. So taking the engine out, wheels off, shocks off, kind of whatever I can do here at my garage, that's what I'll be doing. And using a good strong 2-pack 2-coat. In fact, the ones we use on our tanks, me and Nat, we'll be using that to make sure it's a really good solid finish, because this is the paint that Nat sent me back, and this is the paint we've currently got. It just doesn't work. The engine looks fine, but why not pull the engine out and paint the whole lot that aluminium colour? Absolutely would make sense. So for today, pop spark plugs, get the codes off them, quick clean, go and get some new ones, explain why the head needs to come off, start taking the head off, and then tomorrow finish that, fire up that, and so on. Look at the size of this spark plug remover. I've never seen such a small one. Never used one on bikes. I don't know cars. I'm rubbish with cars, guys. So my new go-to is Paul Laguna with stuff like this. Basically, this car, this is the coil. So if you unplug the electrics, right, this is the coil. That's a coil there. So you have to buy 4 coils. Now I think these are probably due to be replaced, but they're not cheap as you could guess. But I haven't changed these spark plugs since I've owned this vehicle, so I want to pop them out, give them a clean. We know that the intake pipe split at one point, so it probably was running quite lean at one point, which can burn out the spark plugs, which is why I actually do want to get 4 new ones today. But ultimately I think I'll be getting 4 new coils as well, just for peace of mind. I did change the bottom sensor down there, and it's made some difference. It was definitely needed, I think, but there's still some sort of misfire. And I remember Paul's machine saying, I think it was 2, but it was saying there was a misfire somewhere. It said slight misfire. I don't know how, but it said slight misfire. So I'm sure it was cylinder 2. So when Paul comes back, we'll check that out, and we can swap coils over and stuff and see what's going on. But for now, let's try and sort out some spark plugs. Let me pop this out and I'll show you at least what colour it is. So look at this. I can't tell if that's a burn or the design up there. PLZKBR7B8DG. Never ever ever have I seen such a long code. I don't know if they're what they are, and they are dark. Sorry guys, that zoom is terrible. They're dark and a bit lean as well, so I'll give it a clean and see if the local car shop has a bunch of new ones, because well worth putting them in. So this is cylinder 4. I don't know why I went backwards, but clean, back in, knowing the code so that I can get new ones. So I've just called the shop, the local part shop. Nice guy, always honest. Do you know how much each plug is? He said that's the exact plug for this car, BMW engines. They are 15 quid each. That's 60 quid for 4. I've never paid 15 quid for a spark plug. I'm shocked. I'm going to go online and see if there's an alternative, because normally there is. He reckons there's not, but it's worth a look. Otherwise I'll wait and I'll buy them. So spark plugs are done. Not done, but done. Definitely need a new set. I'll wait till payday and I'll get a new set. 2 or 3 of them looked way past it actually, and even at 60 quid they last 10 years, so it's worth doing. But let's move on to what we actually do on this channel. Let's pull out the Chinese bike and I'll show you why it needed a new head. So here we are. You saw this bike running a couple of weeks ago, and it stopped the week after, and I was thinking, what's going on? You know, there's something really ridiculous happening right now. So I thought I'll check the plug, see what's going on, and then I put the plug back in and I nipped it up like you do. And then I realised so basically what would have happened was, when the spark plug hit the original valves, it would have pushed up and ripped the threads from the head. So that's exactly where we sit right now. So we're back to kind of square one to an extent. We need to kind of pull everything back off and put on my new head, because this doesn't work. I mean, at the time it made sense to re-tap a new hole for the exhaust and to put a new valve in. But for 150 quid, which I'm going to be honest is expensive, I've got a brand new head now with valves, a new tapped spark plug, and basically it will be fresh. It will then become reliable, and that at this stage, that's the most important thing for me. It needs to be a reliable engine. Everything else can be serviced around the engine to an extent, but the engine needed to be reliable, because I mean, I took the advert down once it stopped running again. I wasn't even going to sell it as spares or repairs, because it's just not fair on the next person. So let's get this engine reliable ish somehow, and hopefully it will fire up again, maybe later today, maybe tomorrow. It's funny, I have to use this to get it out when it's bloody the problem to start with. Look at this stupid little bloody spark plug. Ugh. It's like a lawnmower. To be fair, I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be this small, but that would explain that the threads in this thing, once they've gone, that, you know, it's such on a taller one, some of the threads might have remained and you might have got enough bite. On this smaller one, you haven't. Okay, stumbling block number 1. I don't know how, when or why, but the locating pin has come off the cam gear. I'm not happy enough bolting it down. I'm not going to do that. There's a reason there's a locating pin on that, and it's cheap Chinese metal, so I'm not going to mess with weld or anything. Not that I have that capability. So I'm going to get back on CMPO and check and see if they have that. I think that would be called the cam gear for this bike. But my god, this bike's such a pain to find parts for. I'm going to have to see what I can do. It's not the end of the world at this stage if I can do the rest of the stuff. I can basically do everything else and then put the new one on next week last minute. So I can get the new head on and stuff actually, and get it all kind of dialed in, get the carb back on, get the exhaust on, etc. And yeah, put that in last minute. But saying that, if I can't find one, then it's no good. I feel like I've had something similar, either the same one, maybe with the head on the one of the other heads. Oh, I thought it was in here actually. Oh, hang on, that's different mounting. Yeah, okay, so that's fine. It's a shame really, for 150 quid. The new one probably should have come with one, but what can you do? Right, let me get back online. It's basically an FMI, 154 FMI engine. I might get away with writing in 154 FMI and seeing if that comes up. My guess is I don't know.